Floor will answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor at just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
This is Matt Rule bragging about the Big Ten, but at the same time, they made it to their bowl game.
6-6 for me. Yeah, we went to a bowl. We won it. And we won it playing against a team without their best two players. I'm not really buying that, me personally. I think we're a 500 team right now. I don't think we deserve to go to a bowl game. I'm glad we went because we got a chance finally to get some extra work. They got a chance to feel how it feels to go to a bowl game. So that's all then. But taking care of what you need to take care of, I think, comes first.
Welcome into The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in to the Breeze. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got the one and only Derek Pearson, the boss man, streaming in. You guys can join in 402-464-5685. Starter him in text line, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo Channel 961. Great ways to put a face to the voice. You can do that all day long, as we'll have plenty of content here on this Ticket Sunday. We got Derek Pearson. I'm curious how he's feeling. He did come out of the fan portal earlier in this year for his Washington Commanders, and they got a big playoff game kicking things off today for the NFL. Derek Pearson, how's it going? All right, maybe having some audio issues with Derek Pearson if he's unable to hear me, but no worries here. We'll continue to work on that. DP, if you can't hear me, I'm unable to hear you right now, at least. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and preview it. Obviously, when DP gets in here, I do want to talk about this Commanders-Eagles game. That one's 2 o'clock today. We will have it on the brick and mortar. We also got Chiefs-Bills at 5:30. I want to ask you guys, 402-464-5685. Let's get some NFL picks in here and break them down while we work through this audio with the one and only Derek Pearson. So, looking at this, let's go ahead, look at the spread. You got the Commanders facing off with Jane Daniels, arguably the best-looking quarterback in this rookie class so far. And I'll be honest, the Eagles are so good this year, and they've kind of been that sleeper. And I've just been eager to see if they can keep this thing going. But the Commanders are legit. Let's try this one more time. DP, can you hear me now? Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. So what we'll do, I think, to make this right, I don't want to keep talking about these NFL Commanders without Derek Pearson here. We've been having him for a week, so I'm sure he's excited to talk about it. We're going to take an early break, but to make up for it, we'll go long on segments 2 and 3. So don't go anywhere. Quick break here, but like I said, we'll go long on these next 2 segments to bring in Derek Pearson. This is The Breeze. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. Talk to you in a bit.
Having diabetes doesn't have to ruin your new year. Join a Nebraska-supported program like Living Well with Diabetes. You'll learn how to manage your symptoms, feel more confident, and reduce stress about your diagnosis. Search Nebraska Living Well with Diabetes and click on the DHHS Healthy Living Programs page to learn more. Paid for by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now, through January 26th, enjoy USDA Choice 8-ounce New York strip steaks for $6.88 each, thick-cut Iowa pork chops for $1.99 per pound, fresh ham loaves for $2.99 per pound, and Busch Light 30-packs for $18.99. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into The Breeze. This time we got the man Derek Pearson, and we had to throw that first one to break because I couldn't help but talk about this Commanders-Eagles matchup without Derek Pearson, the man who exited the fan portal today. DP, it's been a minute. How's it going on this beautiful Sunday? At least it is here in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah, it is. I am in the nation's capital, and the buzz, everything is the buzz about this game, about this organization, about this time in life where, you know, the city, people think DC and they think politics. But as a native, I can tell you there's nothing that unites the city like this football team. When this football team has it going and is going well and is representing at the highest level, this city simply moves different. It feels different. It sounds different. And Husker fans can relate to this, that Nebraska as a state, Lincoln as a city, it moves better. The sun's brighter. The food tastes better. The smiles are broader when the Huskers do well. Well, the same thing applies for Washington, D.C. and this football team. And it's interesting that if we said a year ago, if we said 9 months ago, if we said 6 months ago that this team is playing in the NFC Championship game, everybody would laugh. everybody would laugh. So this is one of those lightning in a bottle moments in sports, and it doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often when the uprising jumps and you jump places and you go from being a 4-win team to a team that's playing in the NFC Championship game with a legitimate, a fighter's chance of actually advancing to the Super Bowl. So, and the proximity to Philadelphia and the closeness, these are cities that know each other. These are teams that know each other and work around each other and against each other. They know there will be no surprises today. These teams have played twice. They play each other at least twice every year. Some of the great NFC playoff matchups happen when these two teams meet. But it's been a minute. It's been 30 plus years. So Husker fans, again, you know, not to Nebraskaize it, but you know what it's like to walk into a winning situation when you've been down and then a bowl situation. Well, imagine that Nebraska next year is playing in the first round of the NCAA tournament. That's what it feels like in Washington, D.C. right now. If the Huskers were to gather together and end up in the Orange Bowl or the Rose Bowl next year, what would Husker fans feel like? Well, that's what Washington fans feel like this week and watching this game and this team kind of form itself.
Yeah, well, that being said, I want to know where your confidence level is at. We do got Don on the text line. Shout out Don, always chiming in here. He does like
Appreciate
the
you.
a lot. He's got the Commanders over the Eagles by 10. Where are you?
Yeah. Well, last week, and so I was here last week as well, and it was the first time to kind of enjoy this version of the Commanders with the fan base. And walking into the Detroit thing, now I said on the ticket before I left, I told Nick Sanders, I walked into AD, I walked into the drive, and I said, I hate to tell you, but the Commanders are going to beat the Lions. And he thought I was kidding. And Amon Green said, well, that's a pick. That's certainly saying a lot. And they kind of hemmed and hawed. And I said, nope, everything about it, every single thing about the matchup, every single thing about the way the two teams were playing, I said the Commanders win. And I generally try to stay out of that water, but I felt it so authentically that, I just said, listen, man, they're going to beat the number 1 seed. Like, I just didn't. And sometimes we use the phrase that, destiny's team, but you can't understate when things line up for you. And you don't know how long the run is. But the last time these two teams faced each other, the Commanders won. And Washington is familiar with Philadelphia. They're familiar with the lineup. They're familiar with the players. Yeah, there's not really an answer for Saquon Barkley. They've accepted that. But Saquon doesn't play defense and has no bearing on how many points the Commanders put up on that vaunted Eagles defense. They lit them up. Mm-hmm. It was a matchup problem. So, and 2 meaningful drives late in the game. This was not one of those, hey, it's a blowout game and it didn't really matter. No, they went toe to toe and Washington stared them down and got the win. And Harrison, it's that thing. I tell people, if you can tell me that you live in a nicer house, in a nicer neighborhood, but if the last time we saw each other, I punched you in your jaw, you carry that with you the next time you see me. Mm-hmm. you remember, hey man, like, wait a minute, last time you got the best of me. Now, confidence level to steal from Jay Foreman on a scale of 1 to 7, I'm at 6. If there was no Saquon Barkley, I'd already have New Orleans booked. But Barkley is such a unique, and the other faction is that Washington lost the starting offensive lineman, which is kind of a tough thing. But I like the matchup. The weather looks like it's going to play even and play fair, and they'll line up and go toe to toe. But it appears that it's Washington's time, at least in this game. Right? Don't know who the matchup are going to be. Jay Foreman and I were joking that, we're about to revisit the Buffalo-Washington Super Bowl from years ago. We're going to get, right? We're like, we're going to get this. So I'm going to stay in that lane. I'm going to stay in that lane. And today it is my hope of hopes that two franchises that have been there, that have struggled in this moment, get an opportunity to go and be great again. So that's what I'm shooting for.
I mean, there's a real opportunity. And we went through this on Inside the Huddle. Well, what scares me about the Commanders, I'll ask you just off the top, right off the bat, who's got the better coaching staff?
I think here's what happens. There's more resume and more tape on the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
There's more, and in this particular case, the X factors come into play. This is we will think of this as a slugfest, but quite frankly, the two times these teams have played, Barkley was the playmaker who was just exceptional and did some things that we hadn't seen. And even in the last one, he broke plays. Jalen Hurts, when healthy, is a problem, but I'm not sure how healthy he is.
Mm-hmm.
And if his game today is going to be with him pulling down and running the ball, they're going to take shots at him. I'm not sure. It's my hope, and I never wish that, but it's my hope that both starting quarterbacks make it to the finish of this game, because both are going to rely on their legs and both are going to have issues because both defenses are going to target them. Eagles have the better running game. I think the Commanders have the better passing game. Coaching staff, I just think that Washington's coordinators are working at a different clip, but there's less responsibility on the Eagles coaching staff, because if you have a playmaker, the second best offensive player in the NFL this year, he's hard to defend. He's hard to defend. You make a mistake on Saquon, he takes you to the house, bangs his head on the goalpost, and you feel terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So,
one of those is probably going to happen today. It's just, can the Commanders do enough to overcome Saquon? So he's going to do something that feels like every game you can't prepare for. But what he's going
to be Saquon.
Yeah, it's just, I've just been really amazed by just the second coming of Cliff Kingsbury too at that OC spot. He's one where he's going to have head coaching jobs open up down the road, but with the Commanders right now, it's looking fantastic for him. And you got Jayden Daniels. That's the other one I ask you. Even if Hurts was entirely healthy, and it kills me to say this because this is what I thought Williams was going to be in year one, and it hasn't even been close to what Daniels has done. I think Daniels is probably the better quarterback rolling in this one too. Maybe that's too soon. Where are you at on it?
Well, I mean, so a lot of the national pundits got fired up having this conversation. And if you're asking me which quarterback I would take to lead my team, no matter what team that was today in this game, it's Daniels. And it's not a statement of, well, wait a minute. I mean, Hurts is a Super Bowl quarterback. Been there. He's done that. He's won that already. But if you're asking me right now with how they are and how healthy they are and what they're being asked to do for their respective teams, Daniels is healthier, and there are more questions about Hurts than there is Daniels. So, listen, he is a master throwing the football, and he has been exceptional in his ball placement. I think Hurts will have fewer people in coverage than Daniels will. Robinson being able to run hard and run and be in place, if he makes plays for the Commanders, they're going to be tough to beat. If Eckler has a big day, they're going to be tough to beat. So I think all of those things in play, I would rather Jayden Daniels to me. I thought he was there's a reason why he's the starting quarterback for the NFC in the Pro Bowl. He earned it. Mm-hmm. He earned it. He's been that good. And he brings up, there's so many X factor moments and things involved with Jayden Daniels. So I like him again. Same for running backs. Okay, would I rather have Barkley? Yeah, absolutely. On the
Wide
tight end
receiver.
stand,
Going
on the
Eagles.
tight end, yeah, wide receiver, AJ Brown or Terry McLaurin. It's the other players behind them that will determine the outcome of the game. Which tight end has the better day? And Eagles fans are familiar with Ertz, but what Ertz is doing with and for Jaden Daniels may put him just slightly above Goddard in what he has done and is being asked to do with the Eagles. Line play, they've both been battling and have their thing. Defensive line at the edge. I mean, even with 2 Pro Bowlers on the Commanders front, the Eagles front line would be as legitimate. The linebackers, Bobby Wagner has elevated the Commanders secondary. Bobby Slay is elite. There are guys who are playing well. Special teams will come into play. Which kicker has the better day in the weather? Which returner makes a big play, right? Does Cooper make a play on special teams? Like, it's all those things. And then both teams like to roll the dice on 3rd and 4th down. And who's willing to take those risks and then be productive in those risks will have an advantage in the day. I mean, big first downs, keeping a defense on the field. It really can be. This has all the markings of a real barn burner, and we're all excited about it.
Absolutely. And yeah, man, and it's just one of those things too, where I think Daniels, just throughout the course of this regular season, where he's been most impressive is those 3rd downs. He's so good, not only just extending time. Like, I could say Caleb Williams, he does a good job extending time. Sometimes to the point he'll get himself killed by taking a bad sack. Daniels is just excellent on knowing when to scramble, and when he scrambles, he does it with a purpose every time to get rid of that thing. Real quick from Mississippi Mundog, you talked about this feels like one of those lightning in a bottle years. I want to read this one because it haunts me, and he's absolutely right, though. Commanders' run right now reminds me of the Green Bay Super Bowl run, 2010, 2011 Super Bowl. Got hot at the right moment, squeaked into the playoffs, won the wild card on the road, beat the number 1 seed on the road, and knocked out the divisional opponent on the road in the NFC title game. Went to on the big one, lightning in a bottle. Washington might just be that this year.
Well, I mean, Harrison, it's the thing that we talk about, that sports is cyclical. Momentum is a real thing in sports. And if you start playing at a level, you stay at that level until something shakes you off of it. And the Eagles were playing at what we thought was Super Bowl level until they faced a Washington team that had something to fight for.
Mm-hmm.
And Washington, Hurts got injured, but again, we're talking about the things that we know and the things that we think we know. We hope that everybody who plays today stays healthy and that competition wins the game. But injuries happen. That sort of thing is not a controllable. Zach Ertz knows their defense. He's pretty safe in how he accesses that, and then he becomes the target for Jaden Daniels in moments. 4th downs, the Commanders have been exceptional in turning 4th down plays. That short 4th and short, having to defend 11 players instead of 10 is a difference maker, and it thins the herd. It thins out. Washington will have the same problem with Jalen Hurts, that he can pull it off the play action and go do some damage. But I would say this: if I'm the Commanders' defense, I would much rather Jalen Hurts running with the football than Saquon Barkley.
Absolutely. And we talked about it already. Like, you just don't know how healthy is he, how many hits before he's really not himself anymore. And then when just looking at that, man, I will say that all this just to say, though, I'm still going to roll with the Eagles today. I'm not rooting for the Commanders after that Hail Mary. It just feel whatever voodoo magic just stole whatever the Bears had going for them. But it's been electric. I wouldn't be surprised by it. But I do feel like the Eagles, no one's talking about him. Everyone's talking about Jaden Daniels, which they're right to. But the Eagles are really good. And like, outside of the quarterback and outside of maybe coaching, I go through each position group, and I think the Eagles are better in about every spot outside of the 2, coaching, which isn't by a lot, and the quarterback spot, which is really dependent on how healthy Hurts is. But even then, if he's healthy, I'm still going Daniels. But that's just 2 edges I'm giving to the Commanders.
Well, but I mean, if we had this conversation a week ago, the same things would have been said about the Detroit Lions. Every single thing. There was not anything. What the two hottest running backs outside of Saquon Barkley, both in Detroit, both in the lineup, both healthy. Oh, you've got 100+ receiver outside in St. Brown. Oh, there's a tight end that's putting up incredible Pro Bowl type numbers. Oh, the offensive line was dominant in the previous 8 weeks as they'd been on a streak and hadn't been beat. Oh, defensively, they were flying all over the field with playmakers in every situation. Oh, they had vendetta. Oh, you had the hottest coach in all of the NFL that everybody was talking about. Oh, a defensive coordinator that had his defense playing so well that he just was named head coach.
But you got to finish it. You got to finish it. Oh, I didn't look at the injury report yet.
Right.
It got bad
right.
for the Lions there.
Right. And but they put up 45 points against the number one defense in the NFC. Yeah, so, okay. Right. Again, the numbers, we can have that discussion, but there are things, the intangible asset. It used to be that when you evaluated NFL games, the intangible was a legitimate fourth team. You went offense, defense, special teams, intangibles. And the intangibles is a swing of points that you can't measure. Just ask the Bears about intangibles.
No, I know the answer.
Ask the Cowboys about intangibles. Late in the game, the ability to finish, right? Ask that run. The Atlanta Falcons, who were playing for their playoff lives, could not handle the intangibles. The Commanders have been on that run. They figured out they'd had answers for every single question that was asked of them. And I just can't lean away from the fact that I think they have the answers today. I'm not saying it's easy, not in any stretch, but it comes down to finishing football games. And I don't think that there's no team that finishes games better in the NFL than the Washington Commanders.
This season, you'd have a really good argument outside of the Chiefs. You throw Chiefs in there just because their offense is overwhelming, but man, they find a way to go ahead and get that. I will say this though, unless you got anything else to add, I'm still going Eagles, but I don't think they cover the spread. I think this is a barn burner. I think it comes down to whoever's got the ball last. And if it's the Commanders, you feel pretty good. If it's the Eagles and we're down, I feel pretty bad about. I'm not sure about Hurts in that big moment. The Eagles are also in that spot where, fair or not, they're going to have the pressure to get through. The Commanders, that locker room wants to win. The fan base wants to keep going forward. But outside, the rest of the National Football League already caught notice. The Commanders are good, and they're probably going to be good for a few years to come. The Eagles got a lot more pressure on them, I feel like, in this game. Anything else left to add before we switch over to the Bills?
If they go through, remember that the game is in Philadelphia. And again, the Commanders have figured out how to win important games down the stretch on the road. But the thing about being in Philly is, though, that fan base is either worth points or it takes points away. If things aren't going the Eagles' way, them folks are going to hear about it. And it is a pressure thing. The expectation is that the Eagles win. Higher seed, at home, with the best player on the field. Okay, no pressure, except it's 100% pressure in Philadelphia. If Washington loses, everybody will pat it on the back and go, well, you had a great run. Philly loses. You got to answer questions immediately. And that's what Washington has done. Listen, they've chased Atlanta, Detroit, Chicago, Dallas. They've chased them all down the stretch.
It started with Chicago. We were the little one. It's like, let's quick stomp this bug out of the way. And then ever since then, the Commanders have taken off. Dan Quinn, Coach of the Year. I think he's got to be, right, at this point.
It makes enough sense for me that you're officially the Commanders are one of the 4 best teams in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. With arguably one of the toughest roads. I mean, say what you will, the Lions were a team to beat, and then you're gonna go if they beat the Eagles on top of it. I mean, it's not like they got chalk to go
on the road with a rookie quarterback and some cast-offs. And quite frankly, they figured out a way.
Yeah, and you got the text line fired up here. 1-800-BETS-OFF. for all those who are getting highly convinced to DP here. But Mississippi Mud Dogs with you. All right, I'll let you guide it. Where do you want to go? We do got Husker Hoops. We'll have the post game for that around 2:00 today, but we also got Bills Chiefs later tonight. We had Foreman break down a little bit. He's obviously going to yell Bills by 1,000, but you're unbiased in this one. What do you see?
Well, I mean, we're just able to talk the truth. I don't have to speculate. I'm simply working off of what we know. Huskers basketball started off with one of the worst starts I've seen in a long time. They were down 19-2. 19-2. Wisconsin has hit 5 of its first 6 threes. I believe at some point they were up 17, and the Huskers got it to within 3. They got it to within 3. They're currently down 7, but listen, with 4 minutes less in the first half, they're down 6 on the road, and we've had these conversations about how difficult it is to play Sunday games on the road in the Big Ten, right? Against a good number 18 Wisconsin team. So they're getting some answers. Of course, Wisconsin went cold. They were 2 of their last 14. I think they made 2 baskets in the last 6 minutes, 7 minutes. So defensively, they've done what they had. But then here comes Wisconsin. They go on a 6-point run and extend the lead to 9. So that's kind of the deal that, as the Huskers fight. If you're scrappy in the Big Ten as a Husker team, we applaud that. Like, just don't go in there and get run out. They were having a tough time, but Wisconsin has 5 players in the starting lineup that all average double figures. That means no days off defensively. There's no space for it. But the Huskers, 4 of 13 from 3, and that is still a problem to not hit your threes on the road in the Big Ten on Sunday.
Yeah, and we've been kind of seeing that. That's been, ironically, the kryptonite for Nebraska versus teams in the Big Ten. Really, outside of their last loss, the reason they've taken a lot of these losses, they've been giving up a lot of really great 3-point shooting. And on the flip side of it, their free throw numbers and their 3-point numbers have all kind of just taken unexpected dips. I will ask you, though, I haven't been able to watch what this first half has really looked like for the Huskers, but when you get 5-game losing streak, clearly there's a lot of things working before we got to this point. Like, what changed, if anything, or is the competition just the Big Ten and we're getting revealed?
Well, they started the thing. Sam Hoiberg was in the starting lineup at point guard today.
Okay.
Andrew Morgan was in the starting lineup today. Bear K, Juwan, Bryce, Hoiberg. None of them started out. I think they are a collective 5 for 16 from the field. Huskers are shooting 33% from the field, and that's after the run. The early run, they get them back in the game. Now, Wisconsin's gone on an 8-0 run since we've been on air, and now it's an 11-point lead again. But sometimes it is a top 20 Big Ten team getting hot and playing through its stretches. Like, that's just it. From a talent standpoint, you would hope that the Huskers match up, and they've had moments where they matched up. They're a different team than we expected, but they're still finding themselves. Again, a different starting lineup today, so you're still searching, and you're trying to find out, listen, what can we do? How do you get points off the bench? With the change of the lineup, 8 points off the bench in the first half, not exactly ideal, not exactly what you want to go through. But they're not getting free points. They're not getting points in transition. And then the 4 of 13 from 3 is important, because those 9 empty possessions, if you convert half of those into 2s, it's a different game, right? A missed 3 is an empty opportunity. It's an empty possession in full. At least if you're in the bucket, in the paint, at the rim, you're allowing them the opportunity to foul. You're allowing yourself a better chance for offensive rebound and cheap bucket on that side. And if you make somebody work on defense, it shows up offensively. Well, if you're just taking threes and missing them, then they're just rebounding and running, and that's been the problem along the way. So, the Huskers are learning. trying to find out what the chemistry is, who works best together, who's playing well together currently now, what's happening along the way. Connor Season has, he has to get it going. He's one of three. It's just this version of Big Ten basketball this year. It's a tough grind, and you can't have 3-minute droughts in the Big Ten on the road Sunday morning.
No, you absolutely can't. We'll see what happens here. I'm 20 wins, right? Like that's the mark in the Big Ten, especially now because it's with the way that, obviously you had the Pac-12 schools in here. That cutoff's 15, right? So if you're 16 in the Big Ten conference, you don't even get to go to the tournament play. You got to get probably around 20 wins to get there. You don't want to predict in the future. There's a lot of ball left. But if they drop another one right here, that's 6. They got some more tough games. I believe they got a road game versus Oregon, ranked Oregon. Maybe they get them at home. No, it's another really tough ranked opponent. 20 is getting really tough if we drop another one right here. And then obviously we're not talking March Madness. We're not talking even the conference tournament. Where are you at with this team? And if you're the coach, I mean, how do you get these guys to buy in and invest in and just do everything in their power to try to keep this season alive?
Well, here's the question: is asking, what are you playing for? What are you playing for? Like you're not playing to be 2-6, 2-7 in the Big Ten Conference. You've got to find a way. It's never going to be easy in the Big Ten Conference. It's just not. We know that now. Missing Keisei is probably the most understated comment that we don't talk about it enough.
I think Rink Mass gets lost a little bit too.
But that's the thing. You're literally your 2 best players in the Big Ten last year are gone. One is playing pro ball. One is sitting on the bench as a force. And we forget how much of the offense was run through Rink Mass last year.
I'm glad you said that. 2 of the best players. Like, I don't think a lot of people necessarily like Bryce, Juwan, they are phenomenal players, but like night in, night out, you always knew what you're getting with Rink Mass, whether it's points, assists, rebounds, or just the playmaking ability. And this year, we're kind of seeing it struggle and trying to get ways to get Braxton involved. Like that high-low game would be a lot prettier. And then again, with Casey Tamanaga, we know it. Esichon has those moments for sure. But it is important to state, and I don't know if a ton of people realized it, like those were arguably 2 of the best players that we don't have anymore. And we haven't found a way to fill that yet.
Well, they were the energy of PBA. They were the energy on the road. I mean, it became so spectacular that teams in the Big Ten, fans in the Big Ten on the road actually cheered for Keisei Tamanaga. They cheered for the Huskers when he got it going because it was fantastic entertainment. It was great basketball. Rink Mass, there were often games, and I don't know what the exact number was, but there were times when he led the team in assists, and he facilitated in some of the biggest offensive sequences and possessions last year from the top of the key, and his ability to hit the 3 from the top of the key. You could try to do some of that from Berkay, but then that makes you weaker in the middle if that's what you're doing, if Berkay's playing out there. How good Juwan and Bryce played with Rink Mass. There's a lot. There's a lot to it. I still don't know who the alpha on the floor. I know off the floor it's Juwan Gary, but on the floor, your alpha has to be able to make plays and finish plays. And Juwan certainly is talented, but in the Big Ten, when you have to grab, that's a tough position to excel in every night in the Big Ten. Today he's 2 of 8, and he's had good looks. Right? You have to get something from Raleigh Worcester. Offensively, he can't be a 2-point per game guy. The point guard position you can't scrounge yourself with 7 points. Like you just can't do it. And then on a night where this is happening, Bryce Williams is not having a better night. So, Wisconsin goes on another run. They go on a 7-0 run, another 15-2 run over 4 minutes, and it's now a 16-point game again. The game of runs in the Big Ten, and then sometimes Nebraska does a silly thing. Andrew Morgan contesting a 3 that was made, and bumps a guy, fouls him, sends his chance for a 4-point play, turning it into a 17-point lead.
Don't worry though, because you get 17 Illinois at home, and then Oregon on the road next. It's a tough make or break moment. Like you gotta, and I'm not saying the guys are doing this, but these are moments where it's like, I don't know who it is. Someone in that locker room start calling people out. Like it's not good enough. The guys didn't come back to do this. The guys aren't there to lose basketball games. Like, you know, it can be one of those conversations that's not fun, but maybe one that needs to be had. And doesn't mean disparaging guys, but it means getting in there and just figuring out a way. Because you're right. Like you got to identify the goal here. And you don't want the mind to start slipping for some of these guys that pushing the big goals out of the way. And we'll go ahead. We'll throw it the break here, though. We'll have one more segment on the other side. And I do want to ask you about this one. I don't want to forget about it, but we do have one from Don here, and he wants to get Toni Storm showing off again and why she's so worth watching. So we'll talk about that one to wrap things up.
Yes, we will.
Don't go anywhere. The Breeze, DP, Harrison Arns, talk to you in a bit.
Early break. Joe says, Kevin says, the old days were absolutely not better times. Lots of hardships. Life in 2025 is better than ever. Oh, I love when we get these jokes back. I love good joke, good I love that joke. You're good. Good one, Kevin. You're hilarious, Kevin. You keep it up.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Shouldn't the landscape around your house reflect the architecture as well as the interior? Whether it's new construction or breathing life into an outdated landscape, let the teams at Tailored Landscapes, Tailored Lights, and Tailored Life combine as your local source for outdoor living. Schedule a meeting with one of our designers who listen during our consultations and combine your preferences, plus our experience to give you a timeless, sustainable, photo shoot-worthy landscape. Call us at 402-432-2572. Find us on any social media or at www.tailoredlandscapes.com, because when you find one company, you find the benefit of three.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to The Breeze with DP and Haas on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into The Breeze. Final segment. Harrison Arns, DP. As always, you guys can chime in one final time before we switch things over. 402-464-5685. And real quick programming notes. We got NFL, a little bit early pregame since it is that championship game at 1 o'clock, but the streams will still be going on here. Yeah, DP, I know you'll be watching. You can listen on The Ticket as well if you really want to do that, but we got to talk about it. Toni Storm, with a pun intended, timeless performance. DP, give me your thoughts on Toni Storm and the May drama that ensued. What was it, Saturday?
Two things. So first, from a wrestling standpoint, the Huskers go to Michigan and are dominant against Michigan Friday night. They've got a back-to-back. They're currently in at Michigan State, and Caleb Smith, Jacob Van D, Brock Hardy, Ridge Lovett. They go through a run. They put up 19 straight points, 2 pens, etc. Antrell Taylor took the day off. His replacement, Scott Robertson, lost in sudden victory, but the Huskers currently lead 19-3 over Michigan State. On the road, and it's been pretty cool. Great performance for Manning and the Huskers. Now, my wrestling girlfriend has been bipolar and been going through transition, and to take the best story in pro wrestling and then to manipulate that into another greatest story in pro wrestling, to then taking a dollop of joy and chocolate sauce and put it on top of those two greatest stories by making it the greatest story again. The return of timeless Toni Storm is exactly what pro wrestling needs right now. AEW needs it for its building. It needs it for its ticket sales. It needs it for its broadcast rights. And it needs it for its social media engagement and its content. But if you aren't following Toni Storm and the timeless Toni Storm and the storytelling that's going on in AEW, I still say this, that the greatest miss of all of this is that WWE didn't do whatever it needed to do, could do, wanted to do with timeless Toni Storm, and when the contract thing becomes available, figure out some way to make it work. But hey, AEW did the thing, and they're getting the benefits of it. Listen, the great reveal and the great showmanship, the great psychology, and then the great delivery was just chef's kiss good. Even though expected, even though you were looking for it, she still managed to pull it off and be magnificent in it at a level that nobody else in all of pro wrestling is doing. Timeless Tony Storm is the story in pro wrestling, as far as I'm concerned. Until The Rock figures out what his place is going to be, until the next big pay-per-view, and I think, quite frankly, whatever Timeless Tony Storm does next is still the biggest story in all of pro wrestling. She's magnificent. She's timeless, and my goodness gracious, last night was so good. It was so good.
I don't know if you're a big Marvels guy, but she's getting a little bit of the Thanos. Like, she's just kind of inevitable at this point. She's gonna take the show. She's on her own right now. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. This has been The Breeze. Don't go anywhere. Sunday continues to roll on. We got NFL on the brick and mortar. How about we got Ellie doing her show up next? Then, of course, we'll have the YWCA, Bills, Thrills, all that good stuff right here on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.